How's it going, guys? I'm your host Korriban Gaming. Welcome back to another very special Adventure Quest video, and today we have the Shields tier list video. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to say that I added a new playlist in my channel, so you guys can go ahead and check it out in the playlist section. That will be the Adventure Quest tier lists 2022. So I've grouped up all of the tier lists that I made so far for Adventure Quest for this year and put them all into one convenient playlist, so you guys can go ahead and look through that. You guys really love these sort of videos, so I am going to be doing more, and I'll be doing one of every single item category in the future. Alright, so for today we have the Shields tier list. Hopefully I get all of them, and if I don't, please let me know down in the comments below, because there really is a lot to go through. Sometimes I may miss out one or two of very good shields that, you know, I just for some reason forget to put in the video. Okay, if you guys disagree with my rankings or agree with me, do let me know down in the comments below as well. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion on it. And of course, as with all tier lists, this is 100% opinionated, so these are my opinions. I'll urge everyone to go ahead and try out the shields and see what works best for you. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, the information that I put out in this video is accurate at the time of this recording, which is on 7 September 2022. So the game does receive weekly updates. So with the weekly updates, you might see new shields, you might see, you know, updates to old shields, and that might change their rankings on this list. So if you guys want to know, keep up to date with my opinions on what I feel about items inside the game, then you guys definitely want to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so let's begin. Shieldcake and all of its different elemental variants. Okay, this is probably the best shield in the game, and why it is the best is because it is so freaking versatile. Okay, it comes, you do need to charge the shield. That's like the one downside to it, but the charging is pretty fast, and there is a cap for the charges. So I'll go through what you can do with the shield first. First off, you can reduce damage by a flat amount, which is 51 at level 150. You can reduce the specific element damage. Okay, the element is based off the shield's element, taken by 17.9%. You can imbue your attacks with the shield specific element. You can have a 1-turn charisma boost, which is 160 charisma boost at level 150. You can gain 50% hyper crit on everything on your side of the field. Okay, and you can gain full celerity for everything on your side of the field. So yeah, this is definitely one of the most versatile and probably the best shield in the game currently. Definitely S tier. Unfortunately, it is locked behind a token package, but you know, there is a 50% token sale going on right now, so if you're, you know, thinking of what to buy, then you can go ahead and get this shield. This, I believe, is in the 7,500 Z token package, so it's not super duper expensive either. Highly recommend everyone to get at least one of these shields. Okay, next up, Titan's Fall. So this is for dodge lashes. Basically, each time you dodge an attack, you will deal harm damage back to the enemy, and on top of that, you can click on the shield for a toggle. So you pay 59 SP at level 150 to double the damage dealt. So this is obviously the best shield for dodge lashes. If you're not a dodge lasher, then you might not find this shield as useful, but it's still pretty good. And 59 SP at level 150 to double the damage dealt. Yep, I would still say that's very good, and the toggle is pretty cheap, so I'm still going to give this S tier. Next up, we have the Hexbound Solar Photosphere, one of the newest shields that ever came out. Okay, so this is in the rare shop. Okay, Golden Gift Box rare shop. It comes with a quick cast skill, attempts to reflect all bleeds and burns onto the enemy. If I'm not wrong, this skill is free, but the monster, you will need to succeed on a save in order to get it, and you can only do it twice per battle. Okay, now, I do not think this is very good on its own. Okay, one more thing, I am going to be comparing all of these shields like in a vacuum. I'm not going to be pairing them with their specific equipment or other OP equipment, because there will otherwise be a unfair comparison. Okay, so yeah, on its own, I would say it's not very good. If you use it the full set, you can transfer essentially the cost of using your armor and your weapon onto the monster, but on its own, are there many monsters in the game that inflicts bleed and burn onto you? No, not really. On top of that, the burn, prismatic burn does not constitute as a burn effect, so you can't transfer prismatic burn away. Like, this would be infinitely more useful if you could actually transfer prismatic burn out, because there is a Wicked King challenge fight that is pretty tough if you can't deal with the prismatic burn. So yeah, unfortunately, this shield is not going to be useful there, and bleed and burn alone, yeah, I'm going to give this a B. Okay, the only reason why it's not a C is because, you know, it is quick cast and it is free. So yeah, I'm going to give it a B. Next up, Duke's Dontopedalogy. Okay, you pay -6 MRM to reduce all damage taken. capped at minus 12%. This one, you need charisma. Okay, so you need your charisma fully trained in order to get a full minus 12%. If you don't have fully maxed out charisma, then you're going to be getting a lot lesser than that 12%. So this one I would say is dependent on your build, and because it's dependent on your stat build, I'm going to give it a B. It would be an A if you have, like, you know, maxed out charisma, but yeah, it's situational, so B. Next, Snuggle Hearts, 20 burn potents. Only good if you're using a burn build, otherwise don't use this shield at all, probably a B. Next, Hearts Defender. You gain 131 SP at level 150. If no hits were attempted, you heal 20 SP, okay, instead. So this one, 131 and 20 SP is not a lot, so yeah, this is probably going to be C. On top of that, it is locked behind a 12,000 Z token package, so yeah, the healing could be a little bit better, and because it's a premium item, yeah, it could just be a lot better, you know, so C. Grakma Height Shield, probably the worst shield, in my opinion. I don't even know why it's here. Reduce the damage of all hits by a flat amount, which is 7 at level 150. Not 7%, guys, 7. You heard me right. Yeah, this is a horrible choice. Do not ever get this if you have other choices. Cozy Farzhad Mogloos, okay, you can click on it to spend SP, and then it will reduce the damage that you take. The damage is based off the shield's element, but of course this does have synergy, because if you're using a fire shield, then chances are you want to defend against fire damage, so yeah, it does make sense. Okay, this one I would have to give it an A, yeah, because it does have synergy with the shield. If you're using a fire shield, then you want to block against fire attack. If you're using a water shield, then you want to block against water attack. So yeah, this one, good synergy. The SP cost is a little steep in my opinion, but it's still a very, very good shield, and all builds can use this, so I'm going to give it an A. Next up, Celtic Wheel. Okay, it's an intellect drive. You can spend 34 SP per turn at level 150 to get an extra 50 intellect. This is good for nuking, as well as it's also very good for, you know, any stat rolls involving intellect. So, and 34 SP is pretty cheap, honestly, so I'm going to give it A tier. Next, Spring Dryad Defender, you pay 41 SP at level 150 to get 30 strength and 30 intellect. So this is for hybrids. Okay, this one is obviously for mages because it's intellect drive. This one you get both a strength and an intellect drive, and overall you do get extra 10 more stats compared to this shield alone. So yeah, for hybrids you want to get Spring Dryad Defender. Next up, Doray. Okay, Doray shield is essentially your, you know, Purple Rain nowadays. Since Purple Rain has been nerfed, okay, Doray Shield functions as a slightly better version of Purple Rain, but it's still nowhere near as good as what Purple Rain used to be. Okay, so you need to equip the shield for at least one round. You pay 49 SP at level 150 to attempt to rewind both player and enemies' HP, MP, and SP values to the previous turn. Okay, and it's based off your V-stat over luck versus monsters luck over intellect. An infinite number of attempts can be tried per turn, but can only successfully rewind once per battle. This restriction is shared amongst all shields with the same effect. Okay, so this one, I would say the rewind effect is not really used much anymore nowadays. If you really want to, you can still use it. There are still specific use cases for it, and I know some people still use it. But for me personally, I think it's just we've outgrown the use of the rewind effect nowadays. Like, it's amazing how far the game has changed with the entire Purple Rain nerf, but nowadays it still has its users, but not very common. I'm going to give it B, probably very low B, almost bordering on C tier, but B. Okay, next up, Logos. You pay 98 SP per turn at level 150 for extra 15 MRM. So this can be used for dodging builds, I guess, so I am going to give it A tier. Alright, 15 MRM is a pretty substantial amount, so yeah, A tier. Same for the Earth version as well. Next up, Lunar Defender. You reduce all damage taken by minus 5% if using a 100 proc weapon. So there's also a Darkness version and a Water version available. 100 proc weapon. It's really only for rangers, so kind of situational. And 5%, yeah, it's gonna be worse than the rest of the shields here. So 5% is really not a lot, plus it's super duper situational, so I'm going to give it a C, unfortunately. Right, moving on to Haunted Dragonlord's Will. So this is a shield for warriors. It comes with a skill, usable once per turn. The skill is quick cast. You spend 372 SP at level 150 to apply a barrier equal to a standard healing spell. Uses strength for stat damage and cannot lucky strike. So after it got heavily nerfed, okay, because you can't Lucky Strike with this anymore, and on top of that, in the shield now uses strength instead of the original intellect. So yeah, I'm really not feeling it. After the nerf, it's still a decent shield simply because you don't really have a lot of options for win, but only if you're a warrior. Yeah, only if you're a warrior. B or A? I'm gonna go with B. Yeah, if they add back in the Lucky Strike ability, might be an A tier, but right now I would say it's only a B. Accordion Shield, 20 control potents. Again, only good if you're running some form of control in your setup, so it's kind of niche, B tier. Fujin Shield, okay, you pay 34 SP per turn for 50 dex, so this is your dexterity drive, okay, mainly for rangers. So A tier, similar to your intellect drive as well as your hybrid drive over here. And this is the latest shield to ever come inside of the game. Okay, many of you guys might not have seen this before, and I have not showcased this on the channel yet, but I probably will in this Saturday's video. This is the newest back to school wind shield. So it's essentially a wind shield with an intellect drive. So it's a wind clone of Celtic Wheel, but because mages don't have better options for wind, this is the top tier, the best wind shield in the game currently for mages. So yeah, I was lucky enough to get it. I will showcase this in Sunday's video, so you guys definitely want to stay tuned for that. Alright, next we have Pies. Pies, you pay 34 SP per turn for 50 charisma. This is your Beastmaster drive shield. Father Time, exact same effect as Doray, so it's going to go right beside Doray over here. Rewind effect, essentially a purple rain. Defender of Frostval Pass, this is a perma rare from the 2016 Frostval gift boxes. Once per turn, you can click the shield to gain 18 MRM for 1 turn. Okay, it has no cost and it is quick cast, but it's only once per battle. So yeah, and the buff only lasts for 1 turn. So I'm gonna give it a B tier. Yeah, it's not that good because it only lasts 1 turn, even if it is quick cast and doesn't cost anything. Chieftain's IronThorn used to be the most OP shield in the entire game, but you know, after they nerfed it, it's still a decently good shield. It's your strength drive shield, so for warriors you want to use this. Next, Mother's Growth Shield. Okay, 50 charisma, same as your Pies. Is essentially a nature, your earth version of Pies, but this is only available during Mother's Day. Next, Golem Guard. Okay, Golem Guard, 59 SP, toggle per turn to reduce the damage taken by 10.71%. So this is not dependent on any stats whatsoever. 59 SP per turn, not a hefty amount, so I'm going to give this A. Alright, Macka-Lot Buckler, reduce all damage, blah blah blah, taken per turn, capped at 10%, but this is based off charisma. So yeah, because it's based off a stat, it's going to be niche, and you know, it highly depends on what build you're running. As such, I am going to give it a B tier. Yeah, B tier, okay, because it depends on your charisma stat. Right, next up we have your Soul Defender. It's essentially your light version of Lunar Defender, okay, but this one is dependent on your charisma as well, and it's capped at 8%, reduce all damage taken by something based off your charisma stat, capped at 8%, weaker damage reduction than Macka-Lot, but this one is always available all year round. Unfortunately, because it's based off a stat and it's only 8%, I'm going to give it a C, okay. Macka-Lot is better because the cap is 10%, whereas this one is only 8%. Both are reliant on charisma. So if you have Macka-Lot, then use Macka-Lot over these two. Alright, next up, let me see here, what do we have next? What is this? Umazen Aspis. Yeah, I believe this is Umazen Aspis. 20 paralyzed potents, niche. Depending if you run paralyzed in your build, then you can run this shield. Otherwise, I wouldn't use it. Alright. The Retro Golden Shield or High Communicants Valiance next, okay. It's Mastercrafted for Guardians. Adventurers pay -3 MRM. Mastercraft against Undead. Defense against all attacks using this shield's resistance. Against demons, defense against all attacks using 2/3 of these shields resist instead. Full set bonus, okay. I really shouldn't look at this, but I'm just going to let you guys know. Okay, when used with the armor, extend this effect to the armor as well. So against demons, against undead, this is the best shield, no doubt. But against anything else, this is just a very regular light shield. So niche use case, I'm going to give it a B tier. Next, Mana Crystal Defender. After casting a damaging spell, gains a barrier equal to 0.125 times standard spell damage. Cannot Lucky Strike. So for fully offensive mages, this is great if you need a bit of survivability. I am actually going to give this an A tier. Yeah, Mana Crystal Defender gets an A tier for me. Could be S. Should I give it an S? Yeah, I feel like because it doesn't cost anything, like you're getting a free barrier. If you're a mage, I think this is super good. So S tier, alright. And the more damage you deal, the better the barrier. So this has excellent, I wouldn't say synergy, but you know, excellent use case for fully offensive mages. You can cast like a super damaging spell, and you wouldn't leave yourself completely open to attacks because if you have this shield equipped. So yeah, it's nice. Radiant Aegis, okay, you pay 137 SP at level 150 per turn to reduce light damage taken by 25.73% at level 150. Can be used twice per turn to reduce light damage by 50%. Okay, so this one, I guess it's kind of good if you're just reducing against light damage. The SP cost is a little steep in my opinion, especially if you want to use it twice per turn, but if you want to block against like a light nuke coming your way, then I guess this is pretty good. So, you know what? This one, I think I can give it an A tier? Yeah, I think this deserves an A tier, man. Alright, next, Lorian Shield. Okay, this is a 2020 Frostval gift box rare. Toggles between two modes. The first mode, the enemy loses 9 BTH. Second mode, reduce all damage taken by 10.714%. Both scale linearly with remaining HP. Half as effective at 75% HP and having no effect at at less than 50% HP. So yeah, you don't want to take a lot of damage with this shield. The more damage you take, the less effective this shield becomes. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like you want to use the block mode mainly because the block mode means you won't be taking damage at all, and if you take, you know, a lot of damage, or yeah, in like gauntlet style type of battles, it just loses its effectiveness. I am actually going to give this a C because it gets worse as the battle goes on. Yep, C tier. Chaser Bracer attempts to inflict blind for 1 turn is based off number of blocks. Okay, this has minus 20 save bonus. Player V-stat over luck versus monsters dexterity over luck. Blind, is the blind very strong? I don't really think so, but blind, I guess it can be useful. I'm not sure how strong the blind is though. 28.57 times block over attempt. So let's say you block one out of the 2 attacks. Okay, yeah, the blind is pretty weak, I think. So I'm gonna give it C tier. Yep, pretty weak blind. Next up, Moonfang Omen might be B, might be a low B. I don't know. Personally, I think it's a C. Right, Moonfang Omen Shield. You gain 131 SP at level 150. No hits or attempt. Oh, this is a clone of the Crystal Heart Defender Shield, and this is actually from a free-to-play. This is actually free-to-play. You can get it from Devourer Saga Heavy Situation. Interesting, but this one being free-to-play, why does it deserve to go up a rank because it's free-to-play? Nah, I don't think so. But the fact that you can get the exact same effect, just a different element from a free-to-play quest, yeah, says a lot. So don't ever pick up this package. Next up, Emancipator's Radiance. Okay, 20 blind potents. Good if you want to play anything that inflicts blind, I guess. Could be good with your red frag grenades if you want to play a free-to-play or cheap version of the dodge slashing build. So I'm going to give this B tier, niche use case. Alright. And then now we have, okay, the Dragonlord Wheel covers the Darkness Dragonlord Wheel as well, the Eclipse Dragonlord Wheel. Okay, Lunar Eclipse Shield. Okay, it comes with a built-in skill, spell like Darkness skill, follows weapon type. If at least one hit connects, attempts to inflict a... Okay, so this is based off the monster's Darkness resist as well as based off your strength. Okay, blind for 2 turns. This has minus 20 save bonus. This one is only useful if you're a warrior, and on top of that is highly dependent on the monster's dark resist. So I am going to say C tier. Yep, a bit too niche for my liking. Umbra Walker or Shadow Walker Shield of Time attempts to inflict bleed every time an attack is blocked. So this is good for dodge slashing if you want to, you know, have dodge slash and bleed together. But otherwise, I don't really think it's that good. So I'm going to give it a C. Terror Totem comes with a quick cast skill, can only be used if the monster is afraid. So it has good synergy with the sets armor or anything else that inflicts fear for that matter. Okay, it has no cost. It consumes the fear and heal based on the duration and the strength of the fear. So the healing is actually quite substantial if you manage to stack the fear. So I am going to give this B. Yeah, because you need something else to trigger the fear in order to use this skill. But if you manage to stack fear on the opponent, this is actually really good for healing. Eternal Twilight's Regalia, low chance of has a Mastercraft, has a 23.4% chance of reducing the BTH of any individual hit by 13. Okay, and also has a secondary resistance to light, which is minus 12% at level 150. So yeah, this is actually a decent shield, I guess. If you don't have any other option, this is a free to play option, so I might give it an A. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it an A because it has a secondary resist as well. Okay, Kindred. Okay, Kindred, you can click on it to, assuming you have the charges, I think. Wait. Yeah, okay, heal element and auto hits, causes 360 SP and uses a turn. So it's not quick cast, but the heal is dependent on your endurance and intellect, I think. Yeah, okay, so this one, I think it's not bad. Okay, you spend SP. Oh, I don't think it depends on any charges. I think you just need to spend SP. Could be. I'm not sure if I'm looking at the most updated version of the info subs. Yeah, okay, this should be the most updated version. So, ooh, you do get a bunch of other resistors with it as well. So, you know what? But it does cost a turn. That's my gripe. High B tier. Very, very high B tier. Almost an A. Almost an A. Could be low A, could be very high B. I don't know. I'm going to give it a low B, simply a high B, simply because it's not quick cast and simply because the is dependent on your stats, as well as, you know, it does cost quite a hefty amount of SP. So yeah, depending on your build, this may be good, may not be good. Okay, high B tier. Next up, we have your Bloodthorn Shield. Okay, Bloodthorn Shield. Okay, can deal harm damage to the enemy equal to the number of hits that you block. This one is quite similar to the Umbra Walker Shield, so dodge slash builds, you might want to use this, but otherwise I'll go for Titan's Fall instead. So yeah, this is going in the C tier. Okay, I think we'll go look back to this one first. Okay, I think this is the Talon Tower Shield. Yeah, the Talon Tower Shield, this... Okay, I don't want to cover every single compression shield in the game because there's just way too many to cover, but why I'm covering this is because it compresses not one, no, it compresses not two, but 3 elements, guys. This is crazy, okay? You pay 78 SP at level 150 per turn to reduce ice and light resist by the shield's wind resist, okay, of which is 26% at level 150. And it's the same for the other version. Okay, so this is the, what is it? This is the Lost Talon Tower. Mountain Talon Tower, same thing, just okay, so Lost Talon Tower is wind, ice and light, and for Mountain Talon Tower you get earth, fire and dark. So yeah, if you use these 2 shields alone, you can, you know, save 4 shield slots, guys, for 4 other utility shields. That's how crazy this is. And 78 SP per turn, honestly, is not an expensive cost. So yeah, this is actually a really crazy shield. One of the best shields they have ever released, I believe, what, last year? Yeah, so yeah, definitely S tier for me. Alright, next up, this one. Let me see if I can remember what this shield is. I don't know what this shield is. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. We'll come back to this later. High Oracle's Teledosian Ward. Let's talk about this first. So this is a very old shield. Okay, you can half the damage you take 10% of the time. Other than that, it's just your standard energy shield. Minus 25%, not even minus 26%. 10% of the time, I would say if you really have no other options, you can go for this. But otherwise, I would probably go for something else nowadays. Simply because you're missing that 1% that most modern shields get. Low B tier. Okay. Next, we have your Sun... Okay, 4 of Igneous. Oh, this is 4 of Igneous. Okay. So it defends both against fire and ice. So fire is 22%, ice is 21%. So it's nice that it defends against opposite elements. You gain effect depending on which elements were blocked. So if fire, you heal HP equal to number of attacks you block, okay, over expected melee damage. So it's about 67 to 134. at level 143. I think this is a token shield if I'm not wrong. Okay, I'm not really sure. Why is it level 143? Okay, anyways, for the ice one, you deal fire damage equal to, oh, okay, which is about 33 to 167 at 143. So in the ice mode, okay, it works like a dodge slash shield, but instead of harm, it's ice damage, so it's not as good. Okay, in the fire mode, if you block, then you heal a bit of HP. This one, I'm going to say, it does compress 2 elements though. But fire and ice, how many monsters in the game actually hit with both fire and ice? Probably not a lot. Fire shifter, ice shifter, I'm going to give it B tier. Yeah, mid B tier for me. Alright, then we have the Sunken Ship View. Okay, I believe it's the Sunken Ship View. Let me see if I can find it here. Never mind. Okay, I don't think I can find it. Never mind, we'll talk about this later when I remember what it does. Okay, this one. Next one we have the Daylight. Is this Daylight Savings Time? No. This is... Oh, okay, Sunken Ship View, we can talk about it now, I found it. Okay, defend against water and darkness, so minus 21% each. And it comes with 2 effects. One is reduces damage taken from standard elements by 7.14%. And then the other, when you block it, you lose HP, 50 HP at level 150. So this is the opposite of a dodge slash build. Are there any builds out there that you want to get hit? Probably Backlash, yeah. But then you lose HP though, so you really don't want to, you know, get hit with this shield, which is kind of anti-synergistic. This one, I don't know, man. You do get damage taken reduced by 7.14%. Is it worth losing 50 HP when you get hit? I would say low B tier, yeah, might be a C. Am I going to put this as C? Okay, I'm going to give it B. Okay, B tier for me. Very low B tier. Next up, we have the Lunar Shield. Ah, yeah, this is the Lunar Shield. So defend against light and dark minus 21%, and gain plus 6 MRM versus shadow monsters, which are, I think, the only type of monsters that consistently hit you with both light and dark. So you pay for minus 2 MRM down trigger. So this is really good versus shadow monsters, and your number 1 pick versus shadow monsters, better than the Paladin Shield, simply because the Paladin Shield, if you don't have the Paladin title, then it's not going to be as good. So yeah, I'm going to give this A tier because the only time you want to use this is probably against shadow monsters, and it gets extra MRM versus shadow monsters. So very a shield with very good synergy. A tier for me. Right, next up, we have the Stout Talon Shield. This is a very old Frostval gift box shield. And you can spend Murder Curiosity to deal bonus. You spend it to take reduced damage, okay? And you can stack it up to 3 times. Unfortunately, you need charging for this one. I like the reduced damage option, but because you need to charge, I'm going to give it a B tier. Alright, next we have Pallet Protector, I believe. Is this Pallet Protector? Yeah, okay, Pallet Protector. Water Shield. You have a 3.5% 3.57% chance to turn any incoming attack that's not auto hit as a auto miss, okay? So it's a clone of the Twilight Set's Armor Mastercraft. Interesting. The chance is not great though, very low chance, so going to give it a C. 3% is just not worth it using, in my opinion. Alright, we have the Evolve Protector Shield. Let me see if I can remember what this one does. We'll come back to that later. Okay, next up, Fate's Betrayal. Fate's Betrayal is a light and fire shield, okay? Minus 21% to both light and fire, so it is a compression shield. And all damage you take is reduced by about 10%, something like that. This affects the 8 standard elements. When you block an attack, you lose HP. Oh, so this is similar to your Sunken Ship View. Okay, B tier for me. And then next up we have the... what shield is this? Titan's Arm. Okay, Titan's Arm. This one, it triggers on mobs with greater than 0 strength, and it causes you to take about minus 10% damage from all monster attacks. Also using the weapon, then you take minus 15% damage instead. but only when triggered. So yeah, this is niche, very niche use case. But I think most monsters do at least have a bit of strength. So even without the full set, even without the weapon, I still think it's decent. So minus 10% is not bad. But because it's niche and situational, I'm going to give it B tier. Golden Paragon Protector, it's a ultra rare shield, okay, works like the other, but instead of dealing, you take minus 10% damage max. As with the weapon, it has its own separate soul counter. So I think you need a bit of charging for this one, because it's ultra rare. Yeah, C tier, man, C tier, not worth getting at all. Next, Lantern of Souls, okay, it has a small chance of giving a guaranteed block against an attack, so it's 3.57% chance. Similar to Pallet Protector, I'm going to give it a C tier. Next up we have the Cosmic Adderview Shield. This used to be my favorite light shield way back in the day, and I think it's still a very good light shield nowadays. Okay, you can pay 47 SP per turn, which honestly isn't a lot. With each monster hit having a chance to having 50% chance of dealing only 80% damage to you. So it's not guaranteed, but the SP cost is pretty cheap. So this one, I think, I don't know, man, I might be biased if I give it an A, but I feel like it's still pretty good nowadays. 50% chance isn't low either. Yeah, I'm gonna give it an A tier. Might be B. Let me know what you guys think about this shield. I still think it's A, but probably only low A tier. Alright, Pixel Guard, another old Frostval gift box item. Mastercraft, we can 8% chance of inflicting blind on a monster. Minus 32 BTH is pretty good, minus 32, but only 8% chance. So yeah, and on top of that, if the enemy is already blinded at the start of your turn or when equipped, the shield instead gives attacks against you minus 3 BTH penalty for the turn. 8% chance is just too low for it to be good, so I'm going to give it a C. Next, Tropo Shield. Okay, Tropo Shield, this is probably Brady's favorite shield right now, and he was the one that convinced me that this shield is actually kind of good. Okay, click to toggle on the following effect. You can pay 20% melee and take minus 6 MRM for a turn to inflict elemental vulnerability on your foe. So plus 42.86% damage, 0 turns earth energy fire only. The monster can resist with a save at 0 bonus, inflict weapon main stat overlap, resist with dexterity overlap. So yeah, this is excellent for fully offensive builds, or if you're running an effects build like Brady Simmons. You guys really want to, you know, maximize the use of this shield, I highly recommend checking out his channel. He has a lot of great synergistic stuff with this shield, and I think you can do a lot of crazy stuff if you know what you're doing with the shield. Okay, this one, I don't think it's worth S. Probably going to give it A tier. Yeah, probably A tier for me. Might be high A. Yeah, probably high A. Okay, Dreamweaver's Contempt. This one actually doesn't have any info subs at all. And I don't know why even after so freaking long, we still don't have info subs. It was so... I couldn't find any information on this thing. I had luckily I have the shield, so I basically used it on my own and tested it on my own to gain an understanding of what the shield does. So what it does is you pay a pretty significant amount of SP, and then you gain mana regeneration for like 3 turns. So you heal about 100 plus mana for 3 turns, so it's about 300 plus worth of MP healing. On top of that, you get an Omni Elemental Shield. So I would say this is actually not a bad shield. Yeah, it's actually not bad. I'm not really sure what are the stats it uses, and of course we don't have any info subs on this. So staff, if you're watching, please can we finally get info subs for this shield? But through my very limited testing, it's actually not a bad shield, so I'm actually going to give it A for this. It might be lower tier. Let me know what you guys think. Dreamweaver's Contempt Shield. Okay. Next up, Shams Offhand Blunderbuss. Okay. So Ice Shield, and you deal a bonus hit of your weapon's element equal to your lucky strike hits attempted blah 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 melee damage that auto hits at the end of your turn. So auto hit is pretty nice, but this is based off melee, so you need to have strength in order for this to be good. On top of that, it is following your weapon element, so I guess that's kind of good as well. Niche use case, yeah, I would say niche use case, and it's probably not very... I don't think the hit is very strong. I'm going to give it B. Low B. Might be a C, but for now I'm giving it low B. Okay, and the unofficial info subs for the Thunderbird set. Okay, so this is a donation item, okay, from 2018. Energy Shield, so minus 25% to energy. You do get secondary to wind and fire at minus 12% each. And the trigger, if equipping an armor tag with rider or riding, or an armor with rider, mount or riding in its name, you heal 6% melee in SP. 6% melee in SP is an absolutely worthless amount, but because it compresses 3 elements, I'm going to give it B. Okay, I do wish the energy was minus 26% instead of minus 25, but you know, you can't have everything, so I'm going to give it B because it does compress 3 elements. Next, Macka-Lot Shield. Okay, another old Frostval gift box item. If you're above 40% HP, there's a 9.86% chance of halving incoming damage. Okay, if you're under 40% HP, when you block, your heal HP equal to attacks block over attacks attempted blah 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 amount of HP. I don't think it's that great anymore nowadays. Okay, 9% chance of halving incoming damage. Somewhat similar to the Accordion Shield. Yeah, in fact, it's almost the same. But below 40% HP, you do get a chance to heal, which is kinda nice, but I don't think the healing is substantial. So I'm going to give it B, just slightly better than Accordion Shield, but otherwise not really worth using anymore nowadays. The Horror Shield. Okay, Horror Shield, you heal SP and damage monster if you block the monster's attack. So it's a shield for dodge slashing, and the full Horror Show set does have quite good MRM defenses, but we are looking at this in a vacuum, so I guess this is still okay. For dodge slashing, I am going to give it a B. Definitely nowhere near as good as, you know, your Titan's Force Shield. Eye of Nab. Okay, and of course with the full set, you do gain a bit of void resistance as well, though you only need to use that against void dragons. But then again, for void dragons, you mostly want to burst it down anyways instead of trying to turn up against it. Eye of Nab. Okay, received quite a lot of changes. Okay, the most updated version, it used to be the OG Purple Rain, guys. Let me know down in the comments below if you actually remember the old Eye of Nab. Okay, but right now what it does is you can click on the eye, okay, to spend 1 turn, okay, as well as how much SP does it cost? Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, to spend 1 turn to gain 40 MRM as well as 15 BKH until the end of the monster's next turn. Does this actually cost any SP? The monster can resist with a save. Okay, I don't think it costs anything to use, but you can potentially waste a turn. So yeah, this is going to be C tier in my opinion. There's just way better ways to gain MRM as well as BTH nowadays, but I don't really think it's worth a turn just to use this. And on top of that, the monster can save. So yeah, C tier for me. Okay, John whatever. Okay, so this is the thunder set shield. Okay, you can click on the shield to cast a skill. Okay, it's 392 SP if range or 490 SP in magic. Okay, to daze your opponent. It's only 1 hit and it's based off, I don't know. Okay, this is a pretty old item. Attempt to daze the monster. Okay, and it does come with damage as well. Dazing skill. I don't know, man. Is this good? I feel like it's not going to be very good nowadays. Let's see the defenses. Oh, you do get secondary resist in ice as well, minus 12%, but the main resist, which is energy, is only 25%. So yeah, old standards. You don't get a tertiary resist, but I do get a skill. Okay, B tier, very low B tier for me. Okay, Scarab Shell. You can click on the shield to increase your defense while reducing the monster's defense. So this serves double purpose, I guess, so that's kind of nice. Unfortunately, oh, it's only minus 24% to light. Yikes, not even minus 25, minus 26. You can pay 78 SP per turn to make the monster take minus 6 MRM and you gain 6 MRM. 6 isn't a lot. There are better shields that give you more than 6 that doesn't sacrifice your resist like that. So yeah, C tier. Figurehead. Okay, Mastercraft and can inflict unlucky on a monster when you block an attack. Unlucky isn't such a good status in my opinion. And what's the chance again? Let me see. Inflict unlucky for 1 turn. I don't think it's that good. Yeah, I'm going to give it C tier. I don't think unlucky is that good of a stat. Okay. Learning to fly. Okay, take less damage the lower your health becomes. So monster attack deals something to you. X equal 10 minus blah blah blah. Okay, so the more your health decreases, the lesser damage you take. So this is good for long style endurance battles. Normally you wouldn't want to lose a lot of HP, but you do need to lose quite a bit of HP to for this shield to reach its maximum potential. That being said, it's good for longer fights. So low B tier, yeah, probably low B tier for me. Broken Mirror Defender, okay, it can inflict unlucky on the monster when you block an attack. Yeah, same as the Sunken Ship Wheel, so C tier. And then we have Box of Chocolates. Okay, this is a very old shield as well, only minus 25%. You can click on the shield, 3 hits, range, darkness skill. Yep, locked to one type only. 3 hits is okay, but 319 SP and minus 25%. Yeah, I'm going to give it C tier. Okay, I'm going to pause the video here while I go look at the what this Evolved Protector Shield does. Give me a moment. Okay, so I found it. Okay, it's Earth, Water, and Energy Light Shields, not Elite Swap, just separate versions. So quite a lot of different versions of these shields. Okay, so there are 4 different elemental variants of this shield. Mastercraft effect is that after a hit is attempted against you, you gain 4.5 blocking versus that damage type. So whether it's melee, range, or magic, until another damage type is attempted against you in the armor or weapon of the same element as the shield, then this effect gets tripled to 13.5 blocking. Normally you'll be in the same armor. Okay, weapon, usually not the same weapon, but okay. I think you only need one of them, right? You don't need both, right? If that's the case, 13.5 blocking, so 13.5 blocking, I guess this is good for dodging builds, though you don't really get the damage from the lash portion. Low B tier for me, bordering on C. Yeah, okay, so that's going to be my thoughts on the shields inside of the game for 2022. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you guys agree or disagree with me? I'd love to hear you guys out, and of course you can have an even more in-depth discussion with myself as well as many other veteran players. If you guys hop over to my Discord, the link is already up on the screen right now. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and found this video helpful. If you have, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to this channel if you guys would like to see more such future content. Till the next time, I'm your host Korriban Gaming. Peace out.